We are going to assess the electoral period in the district. When we are talking of assessment, we are looking at before, during, and after the elections. What you people observed?
According to my own personal analysis, there was a lot of fear. Even before the elections, there was already fear entangled within the surroundings in a way that you would hear the speculations already. People were talking about how dangerous this thing will be, how this thing is going to be violent, how we should not even try to do anything, how we should do as the government wants.
The election was free and fair. And as we are waiting for the forthcoming swearing in, from me, I have no worry, because we are going to be sworn in and we are going to start work. And all those who are saying over they are fearing that there's going to be violence, I just want to encourage you, just be calm. Nothing will be happening, or nothing will happening in this country at all, because we are ready to do everything which is going to just to disturb us with the peace we are having in our country.
Saying this election was free and fair with tankers and policemen around, I don't think that's so realistic. If they were free and fair, the police wouldn't have been around, because we all know where the polling stations were and would have gone to vote. But by the virtue of that there were policemen and everything around, there is nothing like free and fair elections. The bags of money that were going around, to a person who has spent 3 days without salt and then they are given 10,000 shillings, do you think they will make the right choice? What do you call free and fair elections?
I remember there was a time I was coming back from the university and we saw a lot of military vehicles passing. And a friend of mine told me, this time never try, because the big man is really ready to deal with people. That was post. And then during the election period itself, fear engraved Gulu city again, because we were already seeing things on social media. This is the social media impact.
What did the young people do in the just concluded elections? Were they voters? Were they election observers?
As a youth, briefly what I can say is I participated as a voter.
During my role as a youth and as a journalist, I was involved in observing the election. And actually, I interfaced with a number of youth from different organizations who are acting in the capacity of election observers. This is one of the things that I saw the youth doing in the past elections very seriously.
I remember I was agent for some candidate, and we did a lot of work, by the way. We did a lot of work. But though there were some challenges, because some other agents were not paid, and it was not good.
I believe the youth were actually used. You actually gave the right statement. Why? First of all, 75.8% of the youth are jobless in Uganda. So you can't imagine what it is like if someone tells you, I'm giving you a gig, I just want you to create a rally, and then you're getting 10,000 just for one day. I want you to imagine what kind of ruckus, what kind of influence these guys are going to make in the shortest possible time. So if someone had the capacity to sponsor around 50 youth, just 10,000 shillings for a day, how much change would they impact in favor of that particular person?
All of us, we are being driven by our perception. So others were used, whereas others were utilized. I as a Ugandan,
responsible citizen of Uganda, voting, let me say, anything related to politics is my right. So it's you to choose whether to be used or to be utilized, or you utilize others.
The youth, because everyone knows they are desperate, they need something to do, they have that wasted energy that they are not using, they indeed actually put it to use and used those young people just to work for them. And some of the candidates passed not because everyone thought they were potentially okay or they would do something, but simply because they had the power to use the youth to create the impact they wanted to create, in turn to get the votes that they wanted.
What do we recommend to the electoral commissions and other stakeholders?
During time for election, the electoral commission should follow the guidelines and should follow their timetable, and they should not be influenced by the ruling government, because you find the ruling government can influence them with the specific candidates that they are in need of. Now you find them now misleading others, and they will not follow their procedures and the guidelines in the system. This makes election not to move in a good way, and it influence most of the things within the district.
We are really not informed about EC, let me say the roadmap, and maybe other guidance. At first, we were told the people who are supposed to vote for DLCs, it's supposed to be the 9 executives per all per sub-county. Later on, some other information came when I'd already moved to all the 11 sub-counties of Adjumani, knowing I only have like 99 or some other plus the disabilities, which might reach 100 and something voters. Then like a month, I got a call from the EC telling me that there was misinformation. They didn't tell us that we are supposed to be voted in by the people from Paris, of which I wasn't left with a month to go to 56 parishes, meeting all the 999 people in all these parishes. It was too much on my side.
And now if it comes to the EC, the way someone placed, they have some biasness also. They give different times for the campaigns. Like they can give NRM much time and the opposition party less time. They should also have to change. And they should educate people. Like for the youth, for me, I didn't even know about the youth elections. I just heard about it, rumors. I didn't know. And up to now, I don't know much about it. So they should try as much as possible to educate people on such things before elections.
Can we maintain peace, or how peace can be ensured in the post-election period, now especially?
I believe we need to transition, and transitioning is a process from whatever has happened. A lot of people were kidnapped, many people's lives were lost, people are still going through turmoils. The government needs to accept that it did this and this, and it needs to, the people need to accept it as well. So we all had parts that were played. So let everybody transition. You see, the problem is the government does not want to accept that it actually hurt its people, but it needs to accept, because when it does, then people will transition peacefully.
The voters, we can maintain peace after elections simply by living out our political differences. That is through, like maybe I've been supporting somebody who was on our NUP ticket and the other was on NRM ticket. If elections are done, please let's quit those things and concentrate on developing our area. That is all I can say. Living out our political differences and focusing on development.
So, not accept to be used by the greedy politicians, because soon there is a swearing in that is coming. You should not accept to be part of the team that has been mobilized to go and cause chaos at the venue of swearing in. Isn't it? There we get peace. What can be done to make sure that all people are inclusively involved in leadership?
What we can do so that everybody is included in politics equally. One is we should not mind about the political party of a particular candidate. And then secondly, there should be reduction in the kind of money that is paid for a candidate to contest for a particular positions.
There must be massive sensitization of the citizen. Thank you.
I think what can be done is by us putting aside tribalistic sentiments. That is a disease and it is alive in Uganda, it is everywhere. By the fact that I am light-skinned, people assume I support movement and I am rich. You can't imagine that conception. So let's put aside the tribalistic sentiments and vote according to capability and not because someone is of my tribe or of my clan. That is nonsense to me.